Hey grade 10s, we're going to start trigonometry today, but it's going to be a little weird because the regular grade 10 book has some extra stuff that never got printed in the pre-diploma 10 book. So I'm going to start with the stuff on the regular book, which is on page 235, and grade 10s that are in pre-diploma, you're going to go to page 250. You're just going to watch at the beginning, but it catches up, okay? So you're going to need to pay attention because the page numbers are going to get a little weird here, I think. Okay, so let's get down to it. Page 235 for grade regular 10s, and you're going to see on page 235 what I have on my screen. And at the bottom of page 235 is going to be where page 250 starts for the pre-dip 10s. All right, so just, follow along. You're smart kids. You'll figure it out. So here we are on page 235. Now, I have to remind you, to do trig, you have to be good at Pythagoras. So we're going to do a little bit of both here. Okay, so let's start with B to F and A to F. So here's B to F, and I'll do those in red. There's B to F, and there's A to F. Now you can see B to F is 3, A to F is 4. Now that's a ratio, 3 to 4, which is the same as writing 3 over 4. Now please notice that also makes a right angle triangle. And that right angle triangle, if we did Pythagoras, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Everybody should be good with that. Now, in blue, I'm going to do C to G, which is right down here, and A to G. So I'm going to come all the way out here now. And if I count that, I will find this is 9 and this is 12. So 9 to 12, which is the same as 9 over 12, which is the same as 3 over 4. And then lastly, I'll do this one in green, D to H, and A all the way out to H is 15 to 20, which is the same as 15 over 20, which is the same as 3/4. Now what that should tell you or show you is, look, there's the blue triangle, there's the green triangle. What's the same in all three of them? This angle right here. And why trig works is once you have an angle, it doesn't matter how big the triangle gets. Okay? The ratio. So, the ratio of the two legs, remember the legs are everything that's not the hypotenuse. The ratio of the two legs will stay the same regardless of the length of the legs. So if I take a random color, let's say pink, and I put it right here in the middle, this pink triangle, if we measured this exactly, and we measured this exactly, and we did the division, we would get 3/4. Or, of course, how else do we draw fractions? This is also 0.75. Everybody should be cool with that. All right? Now, what if I did this purple triangle and I went down low? Now, with that purple triangle, if I took this, X and Y, would that be 0.75? No, because see, we changed this angle. So that ratio would be different. The angle is what determines the ratio. Alrighty. This is called the tangent ratio, and it holds true for all right angle triangles. Okay, now we're caught up. Now you're all going to need your calculators. You need calculators for trig, so you're going to need to find one. All right, and that calculator has to have the tan, sin, cos, tan buttons on them. And somewhere on your calculator screen, so here's a gray calculator screen, somewhere on that screen there has to be a little D or DEG. If there isn't, if it says R or rad or G or grad, you have to push the DRG button until it says D or DEG. You have to do that. You've got to figure it out. So I'll get my calculator up. Here it is now on my calculator. My calculator is a little weird, as you can plainly see. But if I go into my mode, you can see I'm on DEG right there, which is DEG degree. So this is how it works. I'm going to get my calculator up so it stays on the screen. There we go. Okay, so this is how you do it. There's two ways to do it. I only have one calculator, so it's tough. If everybody out there pushes the tangent button, if your calculator writes the word tan on the screen, it's just like mine, and you're going to do these questions in the order you see them written. So for me, I would go tan 35, close the brackets, equals 0.700. We like to use 3 decimals. If your calculator doesn't write the word tan, then you have to punch in. You've got to reverse this. You would go 35, then you would hit the tan button, but no equal sign. You do not need to hit equals, and you will get 0.700. Now what that means is, on this triangle, 0.700 would be 700 over 1,000. Okay? This one, tan 15, 2679 to 268. 0.268, which would mean it would be 268 over 1,000. And tan of 45 is 1, which means 1 and 1. Okay? Now let's move this downwards to the next page. Now this, as you can see, is just reversed. So here we already know the tan. So we know that this is going to be 75 over 100. But we don't know what this angle is. So we go to our calculator, and instead of pushing tan, we go shift tan. And your calculator will do that. So I will go shift tan 0.75. Close brackets. And that tells me this is a 37-degree angle. Now, of course, if you've got a backwards calculator, you're going to need to push 0.75 shift tan. And this one, forget about the negative. Just do 1.23. Shift tan 1.23. And that gets me 51 degrees. Now this one would be this. 123 over 100. This one, shift tan 2.5. 68 degrees. And that would be 25 over 10, or 250 over 100, or 2,500 over 1,000, and so on and so on and so on. The tan ratio compares the two legs in a special order. That special order is always the opposite leg divided by the adjacent leg. Now, I'm going to talk about what these two mean in this triangle right here. So, we don't need the calculator anymore for now. Alright, so here's our triangle right here. Find the tangent of angle A. So here is angle A. That means that's the angle we care about. So tangent, and if you write this down, it's impossible to do it wrong. Tangent A equals opposite divided by the adjacent. Now in trigonometry, opposite always means across. So here's A. Opposite is across. What do I see? 12 over. Adjacent is the leg that's right beside, so it's 5. If I go to B, which I'll work in gray, now I'm down here. Opposite equals opposite over adjacent, which is 5 over 12. So now I have to use these ratios to find the angles. So that's the ratio. So I want to find the angle. Now we just found the angle 3 times by using shift tan and a decimal. But right now I don't have a decimal, I've got a fraction. But what math is that doing? That's 12 divided by 5, which will get me a decimal. So all I do here is I go shift tan, bracket, 12 divided by 5, close brackets, equals. If I have a backwards calculator, I have to go bracket, 12 divided by 5, close brackets, shift tan. And I don't need to push equals. So let's get out my calculator. Second tan, shift tan, 12 divided by 5, close the brackets, equals 67.4 degrees. So with degrees, we usually just like to round them off. So that is 67 degrees. And then for B, tan, shift tan of B equals 5 over 12. So I punch in exactly as I see it, or if I've got a backwards calculator, I do 5 divided by 12, shift tan. And I get, oops, I did 5 divided by 2, 5 divided by 12, 22.6 or 23 degrees. Alrighty? So, that's it. That's all there is to it. So now, like I say here, I want you to write what you had to punch in to do these. So whatever kind of calculator you have. So for me, I have to push second, tan. It gives me a bracket. So then I have to push 1, 2, divided by 5. Then I have to hit close brackets. Then I have to hit equals. You punch in, you write what you punch in. Okay, it depends on your calculator. So, here we go. In trig, we like to use a Greek letter. The Greek letter we use is that. It is theta. Theta refers to is the angle we care about. So in this first triangle right here, I have an X right there. So I care about angle B, right? So theta equals X, because that's the angle I care about. And that means that is where I am standing. There I am. There's my gray hair. I'm standing right there, which means that 23 is opposite to me because it's a cross. And my adjacent is 15 because it's right beside me. It's never going to be this side because that's the hypotenuse. It already has a special name. So when we're doing tangent, we only care about the legs. Now, when I look at this, I know that tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So fill it in. Tan of X equals 23 over 15. Since I have the sides and I need an angle, I must do shift tan of X equals 23 divided by 15. And I punch that into my calculator. Remember, shift tan is for angles. Tan is for sides. So X equals, and I go to my calculator, shift tan gives me my bracket 23 divided by 15 close brackets equals 57 degrees. 57 degrees. All right, now let's look over here. I care about this side, right? So here is the angle that I care about, yes? Because I'm telling you that it's 15. So theta equals 15. Once I'm up there I am. Gray hair. That makes this opposite. So my opposite is X. My adjacent equals 37. And if I write it out, I can't do it wrong. Tan theta equals O over A. Tan of 15 equals X over 37. Now, in algebra, I want this X by itself, don't I? Trig is the same thing. How do I get rid of divided by 37? Well, I multiply by 37. So 37 times tan 15 equals X. And now I just do that with my calculator. Forward or backwards depends on your machine. 37 tan 15, close the brackets, equals 9.9. 9.9 equals X. And then the last one. Our theta equals 70, because that's the angle we have. Our opposite equals 14. Our adjacent equals X. Tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. Tan of 70 equals 14 over X. Now, you're smart kids. If I did 37 times tan 15 there. And the x is now at the bottom. I got to do it divided by now. 14 divided by tan 70 equals x. So x equals, then you just punch it into your calculator the way you have to. 14 divided by tan 70, close the bracket for me, equals 5.1. And that's it. That's all you need to do the tangent ratio. Now remember, there's 3 buttons. There's sin, cos, and tan. Today, we are only dealing with tan. So, here's a triangle. Let's work it out. 30. Theta equals 30. Here I am. I've got blue hair now, which makes opposite equals x, adjacent equals 24. Tan 30 equals x over 24. So 24 tan 30 equals x. So I go to my calculator, 24 tan 30, and I get 13.86. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. There's my calculator, 13.86. Now this, I'm going to write 13.86 there, but it's really this big horrible number here, right? I need to know what y is, right angle triangle, so I know that because of Pythagoras, x squared plus 24 squared square root will give me y. So I go to my calculator, it's right there, so all I do is I push squared, answer squared, plus 24 squared equals 768, and then I take the square root of 768, and I get 27.7. So y equals 27.7. So I used Pythagoras that I already knew from the past, and tangent, which is new to me this year. We're going to do these 3, and then we're going to stop. On Monday, I'm going to do the video for this page, page 238, and I'm going to assign you some work on trig. This weekend, you're working on your systems review. So here we go. We'll do it very quickly. Theta equals x. Here I am. Opposite equals 35. Adjacent equals 50. Tan x equals 35 over 50. So I have to do shift tan because I'm looking for an angle over 50, and I go to my calculator, shift tan 35 divided by 50, and I get 34.99. So we round that off. Theta equals 35 degrees. Now I come to this one. Theta equals 60 because this is the angle I care about. There I am. Opposite equals x. Adjacent equals 7. Tan 60 equals x over 7. So 7 times tan 60 equals x. So x equals 12.12. Now remember, I've got to do Pythagoras now. I've already got the answer there. So that squared plus 7 squared gets me 196. Then I take a square root of 196. And I get that it's 14, so 14 equals y. And then lastly, theta equals 80. There I am. Opposite equals 10, adjacent equals x. tan 80 equals opposite 10 over adjacent x. This time I have to divide because I need the denominator. 10 divided by tan 80 equals x. X equals. Hey man. Thanks. Shift. Yeah, I'm done in like 2 seconds. 10 divided by. Oops, sorry, I didn't need a shift 10 there. I'm just doing x. 10 divided by tan 80. 1.76. So 1.8. And then we're done. So really look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to do any work on it yet. You're going to do that work on Monday. Okay? Do your systems review. You've got a systems test coming up. We'll talk about that in Monday's video. Okay? Monday's video is going to be a little more of this, and I'm going to go over the systems review. All right? Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.